Joined by head coach Bill O'Brien for the game day preview leading up to the Nebraska game. Coach, you've outscored opponents in the Big Ten 107-30 on the road. Is there one thing you can pinpoint, or is it just execution across the board?
I think our players, number one, and our staff, they do a really good job of, when we do travel, of making sure that we're all focused on the opponent and the game plan and what we have to do. And, you know, there's something to be said for the team on the road in that hotel, and just, you know, that's all you need, and going into an opposing stadium, and that's kind of the mantra that we've used the whole year.
Before we get into Nebraska stuff, I want to ask you about the graduate assistant coaches. These guys, hard workers, behind the scenes. The fans don't really get to see a lot of what they're doing, but talk about their role in the program. Bartley Webb, Steve Williams, Tim Kelly, and then Zach Etheridge.
Well, number one, they're really bright guys. They're extremely smart. I mean, you're talking about Harvard, Notre Dame. I mean, these guys have earned their keep as far as their educations. And I'm always going to be interested in bright guys at those positions. And they work extremely hard. They work well together. They understand their roles, and they get the work done. And there's a lot of work that goes into being a graduate assistant, and it's a huge role in your program. They break film down. They run the dirty show on the practice field. So from week to week, and then they're involved in recruiting. You know, as much as the rules allow them to be, they're involved in recruiting. So they play a big role for us, and these guys do a good job.
Nebraska's offense, leading the Big Ten in total offense, 487 yards, leading in rushing, second in scoring offense. Taylor Martinez is a dynamic player, an improved passer from last year, 64% passer. What do you see from that offense and him?
Well, you know, it is. Again, like I say every week, this is a big challenge for our defense. This is an explosive offense. This is an offense that does a lot of different things. An offense that has a quarterback that's definitely a dual threat. He can run, he's got great speed, and he can throw the football. And he's obviously the leader of that football team and that offense. So these guys, you know, our defense, we have a big challenge. For the most part, all year, they've risen to the challenge, so it'll be fun to watch these guys play on Saturday.
What's challenging about what they do in terms of option offense?
Well, again, you have to stop the quarterback, and so anytime the quarterback is in a position where he has to make a read and either keep the ball or give the ball, that's tough on a defense, because you have to commit to what your responsibility is, and if you mess up one time, he can be around the edge for a huge gain or a touchdown. So it's really just, again, about playing responsibility football, making sure if you have dive, you take the dive. If you have quarterback, you take the quarterback. If you have pitch, you take the pitch every time, and that's how you're going to try to do the best you can to defend that scheme.
On the flip side, Nebraska's defense leads the nation in completion percentage defense. What do you see from that group on film that's impressive? Very
talented group, big, physical, really good defensive ends. It's definitely an NFL defensive scheme. Coach Pelini does a great job with that defense. They run an odd front, they run an even front, they play diamond, they play man-to-man coverage, zone blitz, man blitz. So, you know, our guys are going to have to be really alert. Again, it's on the road. It's going to be very loud. We have to have great communication. We've got to be able to play fast, and so it's a big challenge for our team.
How important is the communication up front with the offensive line? The players talked about it at Purdue, made some adjustments during the game, and really improved as the game went on.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a big part of what we do. You know, football now is about a lot of communication. You know, whether it's hand signals or verbal, or whether it's the offensive line or the quarterback to the offensive line, or the quarterback to the receivers, or to the back behind them. So it's going to be a very big challenge in Lincoln because of the crowd noise. We're going to obviously crank the music up over at Lash this week, and hopefully that helps us a little bit on Saturday.
On paper, it looks like it's going to be a very interesting game when you've got a great offense going against a great defense on both sides of the ball. What type of game are you expecting?
Again, I think I really believe it'll be a hard-fought game. It'll be a well-played game. I believe you've got really two good football teams going at it, and two good coaching staffs. So, and in a place that has so much tradition and history, and great crowd, very respectful crowd. So it's going to be fun for our players, and hopefully we're up to the challenge.
Keys to the game?
Well, you know, offensively every week we've got to play with great tempo and great communication. We can't turn it over. We have to limit our penalties, no question about that. Defensively, it's going to come down to how well we defend the quarterback. He's a very good player, Martinez, and we've got to do a really good job against him. And then special teams, I think we can, you know, obviously do the best we can to try to get an edge there. They have very good kick returners, and we've got to do a great job of covering. And if we do that, then we'll have a chance to win the game.
Coach, best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Tony.